I'm a history guy. I'm into history. And the O.J. Simpson case is as part of American history as apple pie is connected to American history. Now, look, do I think O.J. did? I don't know. I don't know the guy. He's not my friend. I don't know him personally, so I can't tell. But here's the problem that I think a lot of people fall under the line of. They believe that he automatically did it because of the prosecution's evidence. What evidence? That tiny drop of blood on the Bronco? There's tiny drops of blood on all cars regardless of the color of the car, but yet no one's arrested for it. Now, I get they wanted to make sure if O.J. Simpson was still alive. I understand that. But he was in Chicago during the time of the murders. So, how do you explain him apparently committing the murders and flying off to Chicago in an hour and a half to 2 hours time? Highly improbable. Perfect example. Lee Harvey Oswald. When he apparently shot Kennedy, because I don't believe he acted alone. I believe he was a key figure in the Kennedy assassination, but I don't believe he acted alone. But, okay, you had Lee Harvey Oswald supposedly shooting Kennedy in the head and having enough time to get to the movie, to get back to the house where he was staying at the time, put the gun away in the bag, and get to the movie theater in an hour and a half time. Highly improbable. So the idea that O.J. committed the murder, then went to Chicago, is highly improbable. If you can think logically, it doesn't add up. But the thing that really doesn't add up is, first of all, the DNA evidence. Okay. Now, California has so many people that are 6 feet tall. There's basketball players, football players, general guys in general who are 6 feet tall. So, anybody that's either 10, 11, 12, or 13 foot could have committed the murder. Now, they were specifically size 12. Okay, so you rule out the guys who are size 13, 11, and 10, because those are big sizes. Okay, now you look at people who are size 12. That could be literally any tall guy who's over 6 feet tall. Now, not just O.J. Simpson. He's not the only 6 feet tall guy in California. Okay, so let's get things straight. It's highly improbable for someone to commit a murder then flee at the same time. It's also highly improbable to change your shoes and get rid of the evidence while you're fleeing at the same time. It's highly improbable to do all that. You have to be an expert craftsman. And so far this is what the evidence was against O.J. Simpson. So far, it doesn't add up. And the other thing that doesn't add up is, okay, Nicole Brown Smith and O.J. Simpson tried to get back together, but it just didn't work out, and they couldn't stand each other anymore. Yeah, there's a lot of married couples that don't speak to each other, but yet still attend their children's recitals and football games and so on and so forth. But that doesn't mean necessarily that that ex-spouse has always committed the murder of his ex-spouse or her ex-spouse. So that argument's thrown out the window. And first of all, we have to take in the racial motivation here. Mark Fuhrman, on the witness stand, lied at the preliminary hearing when he said that he didn't pre-plant any evidence, but yet he pleaded the fifth when Johnny Cochran asked him during the trial, because there were these tapes that said that in actuality where he said the N-word about black people 41 times, and he bragged about committing police brutality. And upon that, like I said, he pleaded the fifth on pre-playing the evidence before the case. So what does that tell you? Red alert, red flag. You should have looked at Mark Fuhrman first before O.J. Simpson. Now, here's the other problem that I found with this case. How is it that Marcia Clark wanted to get the all-white jury, exclusively all-white jury? Racial motivation, perhaps? I don't know. That just makes sense to me. Because her comments of the jury are, and still are, that it was too black. Yeah, Marcia Clark said that. She said the jury was too black. Racial motivation? Maybe. I don't know about you, but that makes sense to me. There's just a lot of things that don't add up here. Now, is it possible O.J. committed the murders? Yes, it is possible. It is possible that he planned this out beforehand and knew what to do with the evidence. That is possible. But at the same time, though, it's highly improbable that he committed the murders. Because how can someone be in Chicago at the time of the murders, just happen to get there after the murders happened, to come back the next day to find out the murders happened? That's kind of like the magic bullet theory in the JFK assassination plot. It doesn't make any sense. So, the point is, people fell under the trap that O.J. was guilty right away because he's famous. But people didn't really hear the evidence out clearly. I think the defense made a better argument that O.J. was innocent than the people did trying to prove that O.J. was guilty. Now, like I said, I don't know if he did the murders or not, but the evidence, in my opinion, point to that he didn't. But I could be wrong. But also the people that think he's guilty could also be wrong about the evidence as well. Because DNA is a very delicate situation to deal with. Now, I'm a guy who's into science. I know a little thing or two about DNA. Now, some of the rarest blood types in the world, A negative, B negative, O negative, O positive. Yeah, these are actually rare blood types, believe it or not. They're not that common. AB positive. And B positive. The six rarest blood types in the world. Now, one of them is OJ's. That doesn't mean that he's the only one with that blood type. That doesn't mean that there's that doesn't mean like he's the only one that did it. I mean, there's other people in California during that time that could have had the same blood type. Now, do I think Judge Ito made the correct point that it was laziness on the LAPD, the way they got everything together? Yeah, it was complete laziness. That's exactly what it was. If anything, if he did the murders, or if he didn't, the case went great in his direction because the LAPD, and especially Marcia Clark and the LAPD, did a horrible job proving their case.